Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, the last time I was here talking to you was Monday. I'm Pastor Lou Kilgore. I've been visiting this site online, YouTube and Facebook Live at 2 o'clock on weekdays for several months now. And I had a few series of interruptions in my effort to bring greetings and reflections and thoughts about these days in which we live. That sounds like a biblical phrase, in these days. I think it's fair to refer to these days as a unit. The days of the pandemic, the days of unemployment, the days of confusion. And I've chosen to perch myself here on weekdays to chat. Now, if you are a regular here, you know that I've changed chairs. This used to be the chair the pastor sat in. This was the chair that the parishioner, you, were to sit in. I'm sorry I'm sitting in your chair today. You have to move over there. Truthfully, it's just because the sun is shining so bright over there that when I watched the video from Monday, it appeared that I had a halo, and that was just a little too much for me. Plus it showed off, never mind. So welcome to Thursday. On Monday, I said I thought that this was going to be a week where I would be here every day. Technology's been doing fine. We've not lost broadcast sessions because of the technology. But oh my, I did not know what was in store for me on Monday afternoon. After I finished talking with you all, I got a call from my sister. And although I come from a large family, it's sort of become, my sister and I are the tenders of the fire around my dad. We're the middle two children and it seems to be us. My siblings are there, but between my sister and myself, we're 1 year apart, and we are caring together for my dad. I'm remote, she's right there every day. Got a call from my sister to say that when my dad was in the hospital, or when my dad went to receive a treatment for his blood, the doctor on Monday had said things did not look good. Meaning, it didn't look good for my dad's continuing of living. He's 93. And so a general alarm bell was rung, and I heard it. My sister shared it with me, and I determined that on Tuesday morning, early in the morning, I would go. And I would be by Dad's side, and my sister would be there, and we would then relay outward to the rest of Dad's very, very large family what the status was. So I wasn't here on Tuesday for the pastor's chat. I was with my dad, and we were preparing on Tuesday afternoon for what felt like a big, momentous day on Wednesday. We were to go in and meet with his primary care cancer doctor and lay out a plan, given what his condition was, for the next several days or weeks. And it seemed ominous. I mean, it was ominous. My dad was not himself. He needed, I reached out to walk with him, and he grabbed a hold of me like he never has before, and we talked like we haven't that much before, but we talked. Oh my goodness, did we talk. And it was good. It was good. It was, my father and I have had a relationship as pastors, as fathers of our children, and him, me, so much life to hold in our hands. And I felt that this was my time to prepare. He felt he was preparing too. We prayed. Sometimes it might seem strange to you, but sometimes pastors in their own personal lives, especially me relating to my dad as a pastor, we don't often do the rituals that are offered to other people. We don't offer them to ourselves. And so I thought in that moment that felt strange, so I prayed for Dad, I prayed with him. And we went into the night. I tried to be very aware of what was happening in the night in case he needed me, called me in the night. No, I'm sorry, I've got it confused. We talked during the day, and then we went to the doctor. And the doctor laid out some steps that he thought still reasonable to take. My dad had a stirring of hope, and the long and the short of it all is that by the following morning, my father sat at the countertop in his house, and he looked right at me and he said, "Do you believe in miracles?" And I thought, well, I'm not going to have a big theological discussion with him. I said, what are you asking me, Dad? And he said, I just want to know, do you believe in miracles? Because he said, there's two of them right in front of you. I said, well, okay, point them out. He said, well, the first one is that my internal bleeding, which was one of his big issues, have stopped, completely stopped. Doctor had held out some hope that might happen. I didn't know from where. And he said also my chest pains, unbearable chest pains. He said they're gone. And I feel great. And that's the part of the story that continues still to this day. That morning was a miracle morning. It was a bright, shiny new day. The conversations of death and preparing for death and all that had happened on Tuesday were gone. And the celebration of life was there. We ate breakfast together, talked about what we were going to do the afternoon and what he would do for the rest of the week. It was two very, very different days. So I sent this message out already, but I've connected the person that's in the emails to the person that sits in this seat and tell you that, I'm grateful as a pastor to have received what you all sent me, which was your prayers and your thoughts, kind words, encouraging words for difficult times. And I appreciate them. It makes a difference, if not in some great big cosmic plan of God. I don't know about all of that. That's too big to talk about. But it just makes a very different difference in the practicality of living through those kinds of things. And either way, if he had died, or if he, as he did, got a new lease. I told him he has a new lease on life. He signed up. I don't know what the terms of the lease are, but he's got a new lease, and he's living it. I'm thankful for you all. And even after I sent that message, many of you, again, sent emails and encouragement and continued prayers. And I'm very lucky. I am very lucky. I'm very lucky may not be the right word. I'm very grateful for the tangible way that you show that you care. So, see, today I'm visiting you, the pastors. You've done your pastoral work, and I've come back around to say thank you. I've had some really wonderful, wonderful opportunities in life to enter into the transition, the time in between, the thin places, as the Celtic theologians used to say. There are thin places in life, very thin, where the wall of separation between the things of God and the things of human beings, where they come very, very close together, and it's only a thin separation between the reality of the realm of God and the reality of the world and the realm of humans. I've had some amazing experiences. Sometimes sitting right here in this chair, as people who come to talk to the pastor lead me into that holy ground. They lead me by hand and describe what they hear and they see in wonder and in awe, and I journey there with them. Sometimes it's in response to grief. Sometimes it's in helping to sort out decisions that have to be made. But in my own personal life, as I was sharing what I thought might be holy and sacred time with my father, in conversation, it could go anywhere, and did. It went everywhere as we talked. I started to think about, I often say in the worship gathering, that prayer of confession is what is so essential for all relationships to be able to function freely. Confession and receiving forgiveness and offering forgiveness. And I don't know, it's a wonderful time. It's filled with fear, or awe might be a better word. When you stand on the threshold between life and death, and you talk. You talk about the things that have happened in your relationships to each other. You talk about the things that didn't happen. And then there's a big part of it that is like, it feels like communication. But it isn't about talking. It's just connection. I've told stories about this before. One of the most profound experiences personally and ministerial-wise was when my dad's brother, his younger brother, had received word that he was dying of cancer, and he had some time. And he put out a request. He lived in Arizona, in a beautiful part. He had a ranch out in Arizona. Gorgeous. I have such beautiful memories of his ranch there. He wanted my father to come and spend a week with him. And he wanted to know if I would come with him. So my dad and I got on a plane. My children were very involved in helping to see to it that this happened. And my dad and I got on a plane. We flew to Arizona, and we went to my uncle's ranch in Aravaca, which is down near the border between the United States and Mexico. And we spent a week, 3 of us, a week talking, walking, listening, collecting the relics of the past, putting them together to see if they fit, learning things about each other. For me, I was the son of one, but my uncle was always my hero. In some ways, I spent more time celebrating him than I did my own dad. So I was, in many ways, an intermediary. I was also a pastor. It was clear I was there to facilitate a conversation between my dad and his brother. I still can't even describe for you power. The power of those real-time moments in our lives that welcome us into the thin places. The realization that there are experiences in life and that welcome us into the reality, that welcome us to claim the truth that God is actually with us right now, right here. God is with us. We lose sense of it many times. Many times our eyes are too cloudy to see, our ears are too full of the ringing, buzzing of life to hear it. Sometimes our hands are moving too fast, our feet are moving. But in this pastor's office where I work, and in this pastor's life, there have been numerous times, I mean numerous, so much so that I'm becoming familiar with the signs of it. God is here with us. I mean, that's my prayer for this chat, for you. Wherever you are, whatever's happening for you, whatever your worry, whatever your great joy of today is, whatever your fears about tomorrow or your thoughtful plans for tomorrow, whatever. It just seems to me a great summation of everything that the Bible tells about, points to, is the name of Jesus in that Emmanuel, God with us. God with us. And leading us to those thin places. I think this pandemic, I think the confusion, the turmoil that is lying under the surface of so many of our lives in this time of change we didn't choose, change we don't want, change that we don't know what to do about, this huge disruption with a somewhat tangible threat, somewhat tangible. It's hard to even keep remembering there's a virus out there that can use me to get to you or can get to me from you, and all the disruption it has meant and all that it hasn't meant. And God is with us. God is with us. God is with you. God is with you. And God is with me. I know I've talked long today, but I'm trying to make up for the 2 days I didn't get to talk to you. God is with me. The reminders of it, the reinforcements of it come when you tell me that you are with me, and you have. And I know that's how it works. That's why in my pastoral ministry, normally when you're in a place of struggle or concern, I go visit. And I say, I'm with you. And these chats I'm with you. You're with me. God is with us. It's actually easier for me to do this kind of a meditation today because my dad is surviving quite well, actually. He's quite well. Making some jokes and carrying on. So we spent some time in the thin places. And he moved back into this world happily. But he could just as easily have moved through the veil and moved on to the care of God. Anyway, wow. It's good to be back with you, my friends. I missed you. Many of you shared, and I know that you missed me. I missed this time. Let's keep doing this. What do you say? Tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I'll be here, Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise, and my father doesn't call for help. God bless you, my friends, really. I hope you have a good rest of the afternoon, a good night's sleep tonight, and a sun that rises tomorrow with half of the intensity of the sun that rose today. God bless you.